Earlier we spoke about setting the limit, about drawing red lines. Well, China has drawn another one. It cuts right through the middle of civil liberties and choice. Let me explain. China's cyber regulator has come out with some suggestions. They're telling teens how to use smartphones. If you're aged between 16 and 18, you can use a smartphone for 2 hours a day. Between 8 and 16, 1 hour a day, and below 8, just 8 minutes. I'll repeat that. Just 8 minutes of screen time if you're below 8 years of age in China. There are internet curbs too. No mobile internet from 10 p.m. at night to 6 a.m., obviously in the morning. On paper, this is supposed to be a choice. Parents may or may not enforce it. They say it's a choice, but we all know how choice works in China. So tech companies are feeling the heat already. Their shares plunged on Wednesday and Thursday. Alibaba was down more than 2%, Tencent almost 0.5% down. The question is, why is China doing this? Because children are spending too much time on their phones. Eye problems are on the rise, so is internet and phone addiction. So what does Beijing do? Impose hard limits on how much they can use it. Beijing has done this before. In 2021, remember, they curbed online gaming. They said teen gamers can only play for 3 hours a week. But do these hard limits really work? We'll answer that question. But first, let's understand the problem. Screen time is a major issue among teenagers. Doctors say the ideal limit is 2 hours a day. And how much time do teens actually spend? A lot more than 2 hours. In the US, around 7.5 hours per day. In India, around 7.3 hours every day. That's the kind of screen time they have. More than 60% of Indian children have more than 2 hours of screen time. This leads to all kinds of problems, like irregular sleep, mood swings, excessive snacking, and fatigue. So the bottom line is this: it is not desirable. Children should not be spending 7 hours on the phone in a day. And it's not like they're watching quality content. Most often it's games or reels. So China's objective is good. But what about their method? Do other countries have similar strategies? Very few of them do. For example, Taiwan does. Parents there are legally obliged to limit teenage screen time. No hard limits though. It just says, quote unquote, not beyond a reasonable time. And if parents ignore this, they can be fined. How much? Up to $1,600. That should be enough incentive, I guess. Taiwan has also banned gadgets for children below 2 years of age. It's illegal to use them. South Korea is another example. They have limited children's access to online games. Between midnight and 6 a.m., children cannot play online. But do these curbs work? For starters, imposing them is a nightmare. More than 20% of China's population is under the age of 18. How do you regulate all of them? Ask parents to take away their phones? Or tweak the software to limit screen time? Neither method is ideal. Tech companies say it's nearly impossible. Parents and children will always find loopholes. But that's just one part of the problem. The second is the concept of it. Should governments be asking children what and how much to watch? It's a slippery slope. By that logic, shouldn't cigarettes and alcohols also be banned? Banning or curbing isn't always the answer. In fact, it can be counterproductive. Children may grow to resent their parents or consider themselves untrustworthy of devices. You don't want that happening. A better solution would be parent-driven. Parents know what is best for their kids. What they need is good advice and plans, not legally enforceable ones, just good old tips. After that, it's all about your creativity. And I know it's hard to make children listen. But that applies to everything, really, not just screen time. It's not like children love eating green vegetables, or finish homework on time, or sleep when you ask them to. You need to figure out a way to make them do these things. And screen time is no different. The state's job is not to interfere in parenting. The state's job is to tell parents what is desirable and leave it at that.